School Gamer Live. Boom shakalaka.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Old School Gamer Live. I hope everybody's doing great out there, all my old school gamers. We got a pretty awesome episode for you. I know we're coming back from a long break, and man, I need it. I've been overworked, and they're still working me. But what am I going to do? I'm going to keep working, right? Check it out. We are doing a latest news segment tonight. We are doing our magazine update with our friend Todd Friedman. He's got some cool stuff tonight. We are talking about our last stop of the year for the Old School Gamer Tour. We have our friend Hal Hawkins from the Retro World Series on tonight to talk about a little bit of stuff that they're doing and what's going on for 2024. I have a new segment, the Pinball Corner, where we're going to be talking about a bunch of pinball stuff. We have our tried and true weekly tournament roundup going on. And we have some new stuff as well. We're talking about the modern era. Talk about a little bit of Big Buck, a little bit of Golden Tee. Got an Argon Game of the Week as well. Awesome platform. If you've never seen that, we'll talk about that. We got some Fightcade going on. And then to finish it up, we're going to do the Home Arcade Challenge on Antstream. What's up, guys? I hope everybody is doing awesome out there. Let's fire it right off with the latest news. Atari's going absolutely insane. They have these new re-releases of the old cartridges, and I absolutely love this. Here's the new Berserk. Check it out. Let me get my notes here. This is the enhanced edition. It has a bunch of added stuff to it, not just the regular old, just re-releasing it. They actually added a bunch of stuff to it. It's got added robot voices, diagonal shots now, and it has enhanced graphics all on the 2600. So it's really pretty cool that they have enhanced the old game, but re-releasing it on the cartridge version in the box. Really, really cool. On top of that, they've released the new Berserk Recharged. Check this one out, guys. I'm excited about this game.
Destroy the intruder.
So, as with all the recharged versions of the games, it looks like an absolute blast. Get in on that one if you can. It's releasing very soon, so check out that. Magazine update for this week, guys. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the world of the magazine. Let's talk about the Kickstarter here. It is popping right now. I have the video here queued up. Let's check it out.
Buckle up, gamers. Duke Nukem here. Hey, it's time to rock your game. Old School Gamer is starting episode 7. That's 6+ years of ass-kicking retro gaming. So now listen to this announcer guy as he tells you more.
Okay, here are the options on how you can support Old School Gamer magazine in this Kickstarter. For $20, you can get a 1-year digital subscription, which is available worldwide. Or For only $95, you can go with a lifetime digital subscription that will never expire. For those of you who want a physical magazine, $50 will get subscribers in the USA a 1-year print subscription, which also includes access to the digital version. For our Canadian neighbors, you can get the same thing for just a little bit more to cover shipping. While those options will cover most of you, if you really want to rock Old School Gamer, check these options out. $175 will secure you a spot on our subscriber advisory board. This comes with 2 print and digital subscriptions, one for you and one for a friend, access to the Old School Gamer private Facebook group, a shout out to you in every issue, plus a special edition t-shirt and badge with lanyard showing off your position as an advisory board member. For $450, you get to choose who is featured in the magazine. One of our staff will write a 1 to 2 page article about the person or subject of your choice. You get all the previous benefits of the lower tiers, along with 10 physical copies of the issue with your featured article. If you really want to help Old School Gamer, $1,000 puts you on our publisher's board and gives you a lifetime print and digital subscription to the magazine. Plus, you get the opportunity to work directly with our publisher on helping guide the direction of Old School Gamer magazine in the future. We are excited to begin our 7th year of publishing and can't wait to take Old School Gamer to the next level. Please share this campaign with other retro gamers and pledge today to help keep Old School Gamer going strong.
Get on the team, be a part of Old School Gamer, and make your pledge today. Don't make me rip off your head and shit down your neck. Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah, there we go. Really forcing you into that one. So the old Kickstarter there, guys. Get in on that one. We only have a few more days left, so get in on that one. Our last tour date of the year coming up. It is the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Get in on this one, October 13th through the 15th. Ryan will be there. A couple of other of the Old School Gamers will be there. I won't be able to make this one. I had to pay my taxes, all kinds of stuff. There's no way in heck I'm making this trip. But you'll see a bunch of other Old School Gamers there hanging out, and go check out this awesome event. I've been checking this out. Look at this. The Genesis All-Stars. Check out these guys. The true Old School Gamers, the guys that tested out the games back in the day. Got some awesome podcasters going to be there. We got all kinds of cosplay contests, all kinds of awesome stuff. The NES Punk's going to be laying around, all kinds of cool stuff going on. Go check us out and hang out with us at the Portland Retro Show. All right, let's bring on our pal Todd Friedman to talk about our latest issue of Old School Gamer magazine. Todd, what's up, man?
Hi, Gunther. How are you doing?
Good. I want to show our beautiful new issue here.
Got mine right there.
Yeah.
Issue 36. That's we're closing out our 6th season. As you saw, we're entering our 7th. Very excited. I've been a part of Old School Gamer since issue 1, and I'm pretty excited of how it's grown over the past 6 years and how much support we've gotten from all the gamers out there.
It's one of those projects, I want to call it a project, a passion project here, where everybody can get involved with. You know, it's one of those things where we all remember playing these retro games back just a few years ago when we're small tykes, just a few years ago. And it's a nostalgia thing for us. And boy, we absolutely love it. So let's talk about this current issue, man.
Yeah. So this issue is pretty exciting. I actually have a couple articles in here. I was able to have the fortune to do articles about the Lucasfilm gaming franchise, all the LucasArts games from Star Wars to Indiana Jones, Rebel Assault. So it's pretty much a history of all the Lucasfilm games.
Right.
But we also have different educational games like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and games like that. And
games, man.
Yeah, those are great. Oregon Trail, that's a classic. So I mean, we have 60, almost 70 pages in this issue. It's a pretty thick issue. definitely worth getting. There's one of my 2 articles. Yep. Definitely talk about Lego Star Wars. That's probably one of their biggest draws for LucasArts. But I also interviewed, I had a nice opportunity to interview Keith Christensen, who is the founder of the Houston Arcade Expo. And he was very cool the first time I met him, and he sent some pictures in for the article. So it was very exciting to talk with him. And there's questions and answers, about 2-3 pages of that, along with some other interviews from other of the writers of the magazine.
Very cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep. So yeah, it's a really good issue. We're working on the next issue as we speak. We got some articles going. But like you said, that Kickstarter, we can get people to get on board, get these physical issues in your mailbox, which is just like the old days. We need to get those back in, out in the open. And yeah, they're excited.
Definitely. Yeah, the people, we have had questions. Why do you need a Kickstarter every year? Well, the reason is we're a volunteer organization here. We are not funded in any way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background that has to be paid for, editing, all this stuff. And I'm not even going to pretend that I know even a quarter of it, because Ryan does all that stuff. And luckily, all I handle is this tiny part of it, just the show here, the Old School Gamer Live. But there's a ton of stuff that has to happen to produce, publish one of these magazines.
And actually, to jump on that point, the reason we've done it the last couple of years is we are now published from Amazon. So there's a cost there. We need to produce the magazines as they are ordered, and it's really high quality paper. I mean, it's really good stuff from Amazon. So
Definitely.
Kickstarters is a great way to get to that level.
Definitely. Well, Todd, appreciate you being on the show, man, to talk about the magazine, and make sure everybody get in on the Kickstarter. I wish I had the link on there. That would have been smart, wouldn't it?
Well, you can go to Old School Gamer's website, oldschoolgamermagazine.com. The link's there. It's also on Facebook.
Yeah, we got to blast it all over the place. If you want to help us with the Kickstarter, you can find us on the Facebook, or find the link on our Facebook page. It's very easy to find.
Yep.
Awesome.
And thank you again for having me. And hopefully I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll have you on again. Appreciate you, Todd.
Thank you. See you guys.
All right, let's move on to our new pinball segment. Before we bring on our guest, I'm excited to bring him on. We were going to talk to him for quite a bit because this Retro World Series is so freaking cool, guys. If you have not seen this yet, it's something you're going to want to get on board with. So fire off our pinball corner here. I am so happy for the 1984 Branson guys. They are on week 4, actually week 5 this week of their pinball league. Let's check it out.
Let's play Space Jam. One hand only.
So if you're in the Branson area, go join in on their tournament league. It's a little late to join in now because they're doing a point, I don't know what you would call it, bracket, where each week they pick different games and you play and you get points and then it adds up. But it's still going to be an absolute blast to join in. Hang out with those guys. I love the 1984 Branson guys. They do some really, really cool stuff. Stern has released a lot of new stuff. Some new codes. They got a new one for James Bond, 97.97 for the Pro Premium and Limited Editions. This code is going to add a lot of numerous enhancements, smart missile functionality to the action button, new light show and sound effects, additional polish, and game adjustments. That's pretty sweet. The code for the Venom table, there we go. Code for the Venom table is going to For the Pro, Premium, and Limited Edition Venoms, it's going to contain numerous game enhancements, including revamped Grendel and Null battles, additional polish, game adjustments, and bug fixes. And on top of that, Stranger Things is having a re-release, guys. They're coming back out with the Stranger Things table. Pretty cool. Let's see here. The events occurring in Hawkins and maybe take down a few demagogues along the way. Don't miss out on the return of Stranger Things pinball. I'm trying to read some notes here. I'm trying to be a little more professional if you couldn't guess. The Jurassic Park table has a new code as well that's giving you new quests. New Dino DNA quest looks really cool and fun. You can get a special emblem just for that. So get in on that. Now, looking over at Pinside's top 100 tables for this week, Godzilla is number 1, followed by Jurassic Park number 2. Medieval Madness is number 3. Attack from Mars is number 4. The Iron Maiden Legacy of the Beast table, which is a beautiful table, is number 5. And coming in at number 6, which I'm really surprised at, Deadpool, which is right now at this point my favorite table. I love the fighting situation on that table, fighting back and forth on it. If you played it, you know what I'm talking about. That's number 6. Elvira's House of Horrors, which is one of the most expensive tables around right now, number 7. Foo Fighters at 8. Star Trek at 9. And Cactus Canyon, which is really surprising, is at 10. So there is your pinball corner, guys. I hope you like that. All right, let's bring on our guest of the week. We are excited to have Hal Hawkins on from Retro World Series. A super, super cool thing that we all, since we're old school gamers, we need to be following. Hal, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So let's talk a little bit about what got you into doing esports with retro gaming, which when you started it, what, about 6 years ago, you said?
2016, so it's been 7 years now.
6-7 years ago was an absolutely unheard of thing to do. What got you?
Well, part of it goes back to my background being an athlete myself, college athlete, and working 9 to 5 after college, and wanting to do something a little bit different, something interesting. And I've always been about going against the grain. And I saw that esports was becoming a big deal, but it's crazy how much it grows and just keeps changing. And I've always been into the old school stuff, kind of an old soul. And it was like, well, no one's doing esports for old games. And there's so many great games out there that haven't been explored in the competitive arena, at least in my opinion. And so, I wanted to give gamers, especially those who are still into the old school stuff, the opportunity to be a part of a competitive environment, have the opportunity to win the trophies and medals like I did as an athlete, and make it a real competitive, fun, experience for anybody that wants to be a part of it. And also, I see so many young people becoming a part of it too. Thanks in a large part to, like Nintendo, and all these new classic consoles are coming out, and then there's other communities that are coming out with their own hardware, like the Mister, etc. That's opening more doors and creating more accessibility for people to play and re-experience what they had as a kid. Because we all remember playing as a kid with our neighbors and friends, and how competitive it could get, but no one, it just stayed there. I wanted to create the opportunity for people from all over the country, all over the world, to get together and play what we got to play as kids, and actually show what we're capable of.
Definitely. I love the setup that you have here on your homepage, just the way that you're able to stream it live, and also it's an awesome experience to watch live in person. It's just a great setup that you have. Can you talk a little bit how long it took you to develop this current setup? You couldn't have just dreamed it up overnight, right?
Yeah, it's taken every year. I'm tinkering, trying to improve the production value to make it feel more and more professional. This particular setup is, I'm fortunate that at that convention, Comic Palooza, to have my own room to where I can set it up the way I want, put it on a big wall. Other conventions I have to adapt and set up my own projection screen. And then, some conventions are very generous and provide giant LED screens, which is in stages and stuff, which is really cool. But yeah, it started way more basic than this. I've gone all over the country trying to find the right equipment, the right materials to improve the production value, to make it feel more and more like a true esports event. Now, not on the level of the modern ones like Evo and DreamHack, but that's my goal, is to be the retro version of that in terms of production and experience.
Yeah, I've been over the last couple of months, I've been searching for competitive gameplay. That's why I got into Retro World Series. That's why I started focusing on it more, because I found ESL. I was like, holy crap, this is unbelievably massive. Like the modern current gameplay world, where there's 10,000 people live there, watching this happen. It blows me away how big the gaming industry really is. And I can see that happening in the retro world at some point. It's just what you're doing. You're basically the pioneer in it, and it's going to happen. It's just going to take some time. We're going to have to educate everybody into doing this, because at the end of the day, these games are nostalgic, and they're beautiful for a reason, because they're easy to play and anybody can do it and everybody loves to play them. So it just makes sense to build your focus around these retro esports like you're doing.
Well, that's one of the greatest experiences at these conventions, is people not realizing that there is an actual tournament for a game they grew up with. And so they're like, wow, there's actually a tournament for this game. I haven't played this game. And so they don't realize the possibilities there until they actually get to see it firsthand. And so some people laugh and they're like, you had a tournament for this? I'm like, yeah, we had 40 people for it. And they're like, wow. And once people see what the possibilities are, they definitely want to be a part of it. And we have people now traveling all over the country following us because they want to be a part of it and play in more tournaments, compete for our Player of the Year award, and see the country.
Speaking of the Player of the Year award, how are you developing the players? Are they just coming in and one-offing this and just winning, or are these guys developing their gameplay season after season, and you're finding the same players over and over winning and developing rivalries? How is that developing? Because we were smaller, it started out that way. We had one guy win it the first year, and it's because he probably played in more tournaments than anybody else. And then for the next few years, we had the same guy win it over and over, simply because he was so good at one or two games, and he was winning big tournaments, which awards more points. Now, last year changed. We had it was really close race, but everyone that was in the top 3 or 4 that were in the running came to Vegas, where we have our main event, and it was down to the wire. And they started realizing that it's not enough to be good at 1 or 2 games. You got to start getting good at a lot of them. And so, like this year's standings, the guy that finished third is now way in the lead and first, simply because he's followed us and started traveling and getting better at other games and competing in more tournaments. And then we have new guys, or guys that have been somewhat casual about it, but now are taking it more seriously. We've had guys, for example, we had a guy, I think he's in 5th place now. He traveled from Texas to South Carolina just to be a part of it. And we've had guys fly in from Phoenix to Houston, all over. They drive 8 hours to come be a part of this. And that's what I want to grow. I want to grow, create that loyalty factor where people will just keep getting better, and at different games becoming more diverse in their interest and their skills. And then that really makes it exciting, because all of a sudden you never know who's going to win. I see that a lot of your events, you have multiple games at each event? Are you doing like racking up the points per game, and then at the end have them be a player of the event, or are you just doing separate tournaments per game?
So no, the player of the year is a combination of all tournaments for the season and points. So it varies depending on the number of points you can receive is based on turnout and the format of the tournament. Single elimination tournament, where you only get one loss and you're out. We award more tournaments because it's harder to win versus a double elimination tournament.
The guy that can travel the most.
That certainly helps. Or you're able to be a part of a big tournament that gets you a lot of points, because the more players that are in a tournament, the harder it is to win it. So we award more points for that.
Very cool. How do you pick what games you compete on?
That started out as a very hard learning experience, because I was into only a few types of games, but I wanted to learn what people were still interested in playing. And I discovered that there were a lot of different communities dedicated to different games out there. And so figuring out where they were, when you go to a convention in, let's say, Atlanta, well, who's over there? What groups are over there? What kind of audience are you dealing with? And so, first few conventions, your first year or so, first 2 years, it's a learning experience. Sometimes you think, hey, this is going to be a great game. A lot of people are going to show up for it. It doesn't happen. And then other times you have one and all of a sudden 30 something people will show up and play in it. And you have no idea that was going to be the case, but you're like, all right, this is apparently a popular thing in this area, or it still has a lot of staying power all over. And so we keep doing it. We've broken records this year. We had, our biggest Super Mario Kart tournament ever. Usually Mario Kart 64 has been kind of the staple game that everyone wants to play. But, we had at a convention, we have it every year. It's just grown. Super Mario Kart for the SNES. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. And I don't see any reason to stop having it there, because people keep discovering it.
Well, it's just one of those banger games that everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. Everybody remembers it, and it plays great too. That's just another thing. Some games are just good games. And
there's also the challenge of creating rules for every single tournament. Every game has different. So I have to go in, and I don't even get to play that much because I'm so busy. But I have to go and try and learn the game and read a lot of articles or forums about it, figuring out if anybody else has done tournaments in the past on it, what is a balanced set of rules so that you don't have any issues of unfairness. So where it's just pure balance in the competition, as close as you can to get it.
Yeah, we've hosted a handful of different tournaments and challenges over the years, and yes, it's a learning curve for sure. You learn the hard way almost every single time. I know that. Some people know how to do little tips and tricks, and you don't know. You didn't know.
Oh, especially in the racing games, there's so many shortcuts and little glitches here and there you got to figure out, and
it's great.
And a lot of times the players will call it out, and you have to make a judgment call on it. Usually, it's like, hey, did the developers intentionally put that there? Then it's legal. If they didn't intentionally put it there, then it's probably not legal. So,
have you done any speedrun challenges or anything unorthodox outside of just regular high score challenges and tournaments?
Most of our tournaments have been pure versus tournaments, single or double elimination tournaments, or 4-man free for all with Halo or Mario Kart, that sort of thing. We haven't done a lot of speedrun, just because it seems it's very, very difficult to, in the limited amount of time you have over a weekend or 3 days, it's very difficult to pick the right game to have a speedrun tournament at. And there's already a dedicated community to that, where they've got it really down to a science on how it works. And we aren't at that point to where we can get to a high enough, to what I feel is a high enough standard in moderating something like that, administrating something like that.
I know.
So we'll do it sometimes. High score tournaments are a little easier just because you can actually see it. You don't have to argue over milliseconds and stuff like that. With the really good players, you can go, okay, you've made 120,000 points. Pretty simple. But then we also try to create variations that people haven't ever done before. So like we were recently in Dallas at Retropalooza, and we've done it before, but we like to do it every once in a while. It's called a Kimbo Duck Hunt, where we'll set up two TVs, and you'll hold two guns in opposite directions, and you'll try and get a high score on both screens. And it's for a lot of people, it's more challenging than they realize, and so it's a lot of fun seeing people show up and just not realizing that, you've got to hold two guns at the same time and shoot in opposite directions. And so it's
fun on Facebook, man. That was so freaking cool, dude. I love that idea. Do you usually like to use consoles every chance you get, the real hardware, or are you using emulators every now and then? What's your stance on that?
I try to be original where it's practical. I was lucky enough to acquire a lot of original hardware early on before it got crazy expensive after the pandemic. But in certain cases, you have to make an exception, especially on the arcade gaming side, where Street Fighter, stuff like that, where the competitors absolutely want as close to original hardware as you can, but original hardware for like arcades is extremely expensive and difficult to get. So in those cases, we've we've done hardware emulation, like the Mister, which is lag free, and competitors generally accept that as an viable alternative. And then, sometimes some of the only ways to access games are through Xbox Live. And so we'll have Xbox 360s playing, like Street Fighter Third Strike. And because there's really not a practical way or a cheap way to get it done. And so, you've got to, every now and then we have to make those exceptions to non-original hardware, but we have everything we do though is on CRTs, and almost everything is on original consoles.
Very cool. Do you suggest them to bring their own controllers, or do you want them to use your controller? How do you
I'd much rather than bring their own, but for the general attendee, a lot of times they don't, or they forget to, and so we do provide, and we make sure it's at least the original. We don't try and do third-party controllers. It's just I want people to have a good experience, because we also run them as free play areas, so we want people to have an authentic retro experience. And I think the only exception we have for the third-party controllers is the Atari, because the joystick for the Atari is just so prone to breaking.
Yeah.
So we have an alternative third party that's way better. But that's our goal, is when people walk in, they immediately look at a TV and see the console and the controller, and it brings back all the memories.
That's so cool. Let's talk about your date here, November 10th, Houston Arcade Expo.
Oh man, I've been doing the Arcade Expo for quite a while. It is an extremely, for those who want to go, not just to play in my tournaments, obviously, but it is an extremely fun event that goes all day. Actually, it should be the 10th. I need to correct that graphic. It should be the 10th through the 12th. But it's so many arcades and pinball machines, and it's just a giant party for 3 days, and it's so much fun to even when I'm not running tournaments, I'm just sitting there playing pinball machines and just having a great time.
Very cool. Mario, NES. Does free mean there's no
entry fee? Yeah. Very, very seldom do we charge entry fees for tournaments. We want everybody to get the opportunity to play. And conventions generally want that as well. But the one thing we do at Houston Arcade Expo, it's generally an older demographic. So we like to bring in some older games, like Atari games and stuff, to that we may not necessarily be as mainstream or as hardcore on the competitive side. This is more casual competitive tournaments, but Frog Bog's an awesome tournament. I don't know if you've seen Grandma's Boy, but that's where I remember seeing that movie, and I was like, okay, someday I'm going to do a Frog Bog tournament. And
gotta find that game, man. That's funny.
Original Mario Brothers, great. It's a lot of fun. It's a very tricky game to try and defeat your opponent at. So is Mrs. Pac-Man, because we use the Tengen version, where you can have Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man on the screen simultaneously, and
No
nobody's
kidding?
really ever nobody's ever really experienced that, and so it's a lot of
NES
fun
version?
watching. I'm sorry.
The NES version?
Yes, the NES version, and
You play 2-player on that. No kidding. I never knew that.
Yep,
Oh,
it shows
wow.
Miss Pac-Man and Pac-Man on the screen simultaneously, and you can knock each other across the screen into the ghosts, or a lot of times you'll try and your movements can change the movements of the ghost, so you can try and corner your opponent. There's a lot. Points don't matter. It's just who survives.
Wow, that is really fun, man. Okay, well, next place you can find Retro World Series Houston Arcade Expo, guys, November 10th through the 12th. And next year, 2024, you've already got a couple of dates I see. Comic-Con, February 10th through the 12th. Yeah. Comic-Con. Okay, Comic-Con. And then we got Level Up Expo. That's in Vegas. Boy, that'd be a good one to hit, huh?
Yeah, that is where we end our every season in Vegas. I think that's kind of appropriate, and we've been fortunate to be able to go there every year. And if that's where you want to be on the big stage, big screen in Vegas for the grand finale, that's where you want to be.
That's a big boy right there. April 26th through the 28th, guys. Retro World Series in Vegas. That's the big boy. Hal, appreciate you being on, my friend. I will be talking to you soon about this stuff, man. I am excited about 2024. It's going to be a really fun year.
Got to get you down to one of these and play.
Definitely. Absolutely. I'm there, man. I'm there. Thanks a lot, man. I will talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks a bunch.
All right. Let's move on, guys. I absolutely love this Retro World Series. We are definitely getting in on this, watching what these guys have going on. We're going to start following some of the players, too, because I want to know what they're up to, what makes them play at such a high level, why they want to be high-level Retro World Series champions. That's so cool. All right, we've done our pinball. We're going to roll on down to our weekly tournament roundup. MCAP, he's got himself a Space Invaders table going this week on the Arcade Legends. Pinball family, get in on that one. I'm going to fire that one off here in just a little bit. I haven't been able to play any games in quite a while. I know Sacro's probably really pissed at me, and that's okay, man. I'm going to be back this week. MCAP's Pinball FX tournament this week is Pinball Noir. Get in on that one. An absolute blast. Over at Arcade High Score Challenge Club, we got a new challenge each week. We're doing a dual challenge this week on Mr. Do and Time Pilot. Get your scores submitted to the Facebook page, Arcade High Score Challenge Club, and see who has the highest score. I'll bet you're not going to have it because we got some high score runners in that thing. I know I'm not going to have it either because we got some big boys in there from the OG days playing and teaching us all how to play. Unbelievable, those guys. Over on Retro Games Fun, really cool challenge this week. They're doing a Pac-Man dual challenge here, where you can vote for either Pac-Man Plus and Pac-Man Atari 5200, Miss Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man from Atari's 2600, Junior Pac-Man and Junior Pac-Man Atari 2600, or Pac-Mania and Pac-Mania on the Genesis. So you're going to have a dual challenge over there. Get to vote on that throughout the week. On Friday, they will pick which game got the highest vote, and that's the game that we will be competing on. Go hang out with us over the Neo Turf Masters Clubhouse. Absolute blast over there. We do fun stuff all the time. Warren is an absolute super cool guy, and he does all kinds of fun stuff. So hang out with us over in the Neo Turf Masters if you love playing golf. And even if you don't hang out with us anyway, you will see why golf is such a fun game to play, especially that game. We have our new Game Junction hanging out with Brandon. Let's see what he's up to this week.
What's up, Old School Gamer Magazine fans? I've got something pretty cool to show you today. I'm Brandon with Game Junction, and we have something very retro and very cool. So this is the Sean Kelly Multicart, and this is the Multicart 3.0. This is the box that you can order from it. If you're a Vectrex fan, this is a must-own. There's 101 games on this, and this is the actual cart here. And I love this. I have this in my Vectrex at all times. I also have another multi-cart that I can potentially showcase at another point. But yeah, this is really cool. So he put a lot of work into this. Like I said, this is the 3.0, so there's been some revisions. He also offers some other variants on his website for different carts that he has. But this is super cool. If you're a Vectrex fan, there is so much homebrew out there, so much awesomeness and like demos and like different little art things that you can do with the Vectrex. Of course, you have like the light pen and the 3D viewer. There's like just so much potential with the Vectrex still in 2023, and I'm a huge, massive fan of the system. If you have not played any of it, it's definitely worth checking out. The systems are kind of hard to find. It took me a long time to find one, so it makes it a little hard to share this if you don't already have a Vectrex. But if you are staying tuned to Old School Gamer Magazine, you might already have one. But definitely a big fan, and this is one that I highly recommend checking out. And if you have not played a Vectrex, definitely take the opportunity to do so at a convention or show, a store, any way that you can try to experience it, and keep an eye out for a deal for one. They're awesome systems.
Awesome. Thanks, Brandon. Awesome video. I absolutely loved my Vectrex. I wish I still had that thing. I don't even know what I did with it. I traded it for something, a BB gun or something. I don't even know, but I absolutely loved my Vectrex, and it's such a cool platform. Actually, Argon, what we're going to be talking about in a little bit, still has a really cool Vectrex emulator on it. You need to check that out. But before we get any farther, let's go ahead and do a couple of commercial breaks here.
Video Power will be right back.
Tiger Lieutenant, let's put the plan into effect.
Yes, sir. Ammunition check.
I got 2 bullets. Are you okay?
Yeah.
I got key card number 1. Watch out, Metal Gear ahead. Mission accomplished.
Game Talk, Snake's Revenge, the next generation from Tiger Electronics.
Nothing prepares you for F-Zero, created for the new Super Nintendo Entertainment System. You won't believe the power. You won't believe the control. You won't believe the jumps, the curves, or the feeling you get until you experience it for yourself.
Wow. That's fast.
F-Zero for the ultimate G-Force, only on the next generation from Nintendo. Now you're racing with power, superpower.
Introducing the epic challenge that only the Super Nintendo Entertainment System could make possible. Across endless land and water, you search. Deep into a parallel world where light becomes dark, you search. And just when you think your search has ended, you find it's just begun. The new Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
And we're back. Appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight. I see we got Sean Vincent, my brother. He's hanging out with us tonight. Good to see you, man. And also we got our old pal Sacro. We got Mitchell. We got Herb. Good to see all of our pals. We got Vader. How are you, man? We got Wrangler. Good to see Wrangler. We even got Sheldon hanging out, man. Thank you so much for hanging out. And we got Andy. Good to see all the bros. All right, so modern era. What is going on? What does an old school gamer do in the modern era? Well, what I am focusing on, guys, is Big Buck Hunter and Golden Tee this year. And I'm also doing a little bit of Mario Kart because my kid is so good at Mario Kart. It's not even funny. So we play that every single time we go out. We have a blast playing that. Let's check out what the Golden Tee shots of the week looks like this week. Here we go.
Shots of the week. Number 5. Number
4. Number 3. Number 2. Shot number 1.
So yeah, to play Golden Tee, you have to be an absolute beast. That's why I don't expect myself to get very far on that game this year, but I'm going to try. I'm really going to try. That was the Golden Tee mobile shots, actually. I should be clear about that. I've actually signed up to compete in a couple tournaments on that already. And if for you guys that don't know, you can contact Golden Tee and the Big Buck guys, and they'll send you a card. It's like a credit card, and it will let you sign up on the cabinet instantly. You can just QR code or whatever it is. What is that? NFT, whatever it is, wirelessly pass the card over it, and it'll sign your account into it instantly, and you'll gain all those points. And every week, those cabinets, the Big Buck and the Golden Tee, they both have weekly tournaments, cash prize tournaments. So they're really fun, really cool. Let's check out what's going on right now. The live tournament hitting. This is the promo for it, but it's happening right now in the Golden Tee arcade segment. Here we go.
So unless somebody holds it out, this is a pretty decent look. Where
yeah,
you can
but we've even with these two guys, as great as they are, we've seen some ridiculous misputts. This hole is decided different.
Who needs a
my goodness!
When you hole out,
Luna holing out, and the look on Andy Hodgson's face says it all.
The National Golden Tee Tour is headed to South Carolina.
In 2021, Clinton Grover reigned supreme for his second career title. The following year, Andy Haas took down his fourth title of the 2022 season.
Andy has got a chance here to force a sudden death as he pulls back the track ball, swings it to the left, and
got a good line.
It's unbelievable!
Can Paul Taylor follow up his world championship performance? Will Paul Anthony Luna regain his control over the tournament circuit?
I haven't been in a room like this in a long time when it comes to a Golden Tee tournament. Andy Haas looks like it's going to hold. Are you kidding me? Wow.
It's why I wouldn't watch. This is absolutely madness.
Andy Haas is on a legendary run. He has won 6 of the last 9 tour stops and always seems to overcome adversity. He won the last tour stop in Nashville with one of the greatest performances in Golden Tee history, and now he has his sights set on the Carolina Clash Championship. Oh, all right, there you go. Andy Haas, 4 in a row, 2022 Carolina Clash champion. Le Champion. This Carolina Clash feels like there's more on the line than ever before. Who will rise to the occasion?
The Carolina Clash is upon us, and the pressure is on.
So there you go. tons of stuff going on in the modern era. And on top of that, one more video to show. We have coming up in about a week or so, the Big Buck World Championship is popping off. Check this out.
On October 20th and 21st, saddle up for a 2-day shindig of global proportions as Big Buck Hunter takes over Chicago's original country western destination, Joe's Bar on Weed Street. Fancy yourself a sharpshooter? Throw your hat in the ring by playing Pro Mode now through September 4th at participating online locations. You could take the stage with the top 128 hunters in the world and set your sights on an epic $100,000 prize pool in Big Buck World Championship 16. The world's wildest arcade event is back and better than ever with more fun than you can shake a stick at. Experience the hottest new games from raw thrills and play mechanics. Join a rowdy on-stage game show and dance the night away with DJ Serious Lee. All free of charge. Plus some special surprises that any Big Buck Hunter fan won't want to miss. Join the party in person with free all-ages general admission. Or follow the live broadcast at BigBuckHunter.com. But that's not all. Players ages 13 to 17 can sign up on-site for the second annual Young Buck Hunters Tournament to get a piece of the action and a shot at awesome prizes. Not a competitor, but want to party like one? Grab a 2-night VIP pass for free food, drinks, and exclusive lounge access. While you're at it, book your stay at Hotel Cass for special block rates and complimentary shuttle service from Chicago's iconic Magnificent Mile. Mark your calendar and tell your friends. Big Buck World Championship 16 is on the horizon and coming in hot.
So that's coming up, guys. If you're in the Chicago area, that would be something really fun to go and check out. I mean, it's all free, like they said. Ton of stuff to go and watch and do. And the kids can get involved. The wives can get involved. It can be an absolute blast. Go check it out. I know I'm going to be doing it next year. I'm going to be focusing on these 2 different games and the Retro World Series. We've got a ton of stuff we're trying to do next year. It's going to be an absolute blast. Let's talk about our Argon friends and the sweet new game that they have for Game of the Week. Let me see if I can get my... Here we go. They are working on a Mac version of the app, and they already have a Windows version, but of course my Windows machines will only run Windows 10. They won't run Windows 11, so I'm unable to run it. So we get to watch off my tablet here. But Budfall here, I've been playing it for a little bit. Super fun game. The stages generate randomly, and you have to just basically kill as many zombies as you can and try to survive as long as you can. You get the highest scores you possibly can. And you just keep going. So this would be a fun game for a tournament. 2 people playing at the same time. I know you can't kill that guy, so I'm going to just bail. I know that from experience. You can kill these ones. So I don't know what that's about. Oh, I better just bail. And that's one thing I do like about it is you can just leave. Oh, you got me. Oh, you can even see me in the yeah, perfect. This works perfect, actually. We'll try it again. Yeah, this platform right here, Argon, it has an absolutely sweet Vectrex emulator. You have got to play that one, guys. Download Argon. It's free. It's on Amazon. It's on a bunch of different platforms. I'm playing it here on my Fire tablet. It plays really well. It plays very, very smooth. I wanted to jump up there. I'm using... That's weird. I'm using the I guess I got full life. I don't need it. I'm using the Alexa controller, which hooks right up to the tablet flawlessly, and it works really well for this. I just wanted to get over him. Gonna run out of time here. I guess each shot that you land gets you points. Well, there's that. There we go. We'll blast this one. So there you go, guys. There is the Argon Game of the Week. Get out of that. Bloodfall. Check that one out. All right. Fightcade. I've talked about this for a little bit. This is one of the coolest platforms that I might have ever seen. Let's get this pulled up here. I want to show you first the layout of it. Where is it? Fightcade. Reveal yourself. Here it is. All right. Now I've got to share it. Oh, maybe. Here we go. All right. Fightcade is a free platform that lets you play all kinds of different games on it. Like, for example, I'll show you here. Make this full screen so you can see better. All these different games, fighters, shooters, puzzle games, all kinds of games. You can play for free online, multiplayer, with your friends, with people that you've never met. For example, look at this. King of Fighters up here at the top right now. 684 people are playing. Street Fighter 3, 610 people are playing. King of Fighters 98, 500 people are playing. How cool is that? Now you can fire off different games. You can store them on the side here. I got Neo Turf Masters. I got this Armored Warriors, which is a super cool game. We're going to fire that one off. I think I have the window pulled up for it still. Yep. Here we go. So you can play this with your friends. You can play it alone, however you want to do it. Let me get this pulled up. Where are you? Bear with me here while I figure this out. Okay, present. There it is. All right. So you learn a lot about games on here. I found a bunch of games like this one I've never seen before. Absolute fun, blast game. This is like a fight that's robot or something. It's massive robot. Hilarious. Enemy approaching. So there you go. So there's your little armored warrior on Fightcade. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Love that platform. Check that out, guys. We're going to be hosting some tournaments on it and stuff. Like I said, it's free. Go download it. It takes a little bit of finagling to get it all figured out. But once you get it all lined out, it works really well. It runs like a dream on my Mac. I just have a little Mac Mini and it runs great on it. So get that downloaded and we can do some stuff soon. Play some tournaments. All right. Antstream. What's going on over in the world of Antstream? Let's get that fired up. Let's get this Antstream party started here. I can't wait to see what challenges we have going on this week. Let's see here. Will my controller sync up? That is the question. We got Sly Spy, I see. All right, we're going to fire that one off. And, wow, my controller hooked right out. Look at that. All right. You've assembled it, but how many goons can you take out in 2 minutes? All right, we got 2 minutes. They're giving us the golden gun. Let's see what I can do. Let me give it one good run here. Oh, wow, I don't think I've ever had the golden gun on this game. They got 2 minutes to go as fast as possible. Killing as fastly as quick as possible here.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, Jaws got me.
Come on.
Can die. All right, we're going to run that one more time. I got 37. Let's see if I can do better than that. Now that I know what's going on here. Ah. Okay, I got a minute 18 left.
Come on. Come on.
You get hit once.
Come on.
Wow.
Come on. Come on.
Well, that didn't work out real good for me. So 57 is my highest score. So much for that. Well, very cool. There is our Antstream challenge for the night, guys. Get in on that, Sly Spy. I hope everybody had a great night, and I appreciate you all hanging out with us. Remember, Drip is the place to get your collectible games for very cheap. They have a lot of really, really cool stuff on there every single week. I see somebody already overtook my Sly Spy tournament score. Yeah, unbelievable. It's got to be Sacro. All right, guys. Once again, appreciate you hanging out with me. I know it was rough. I've been trying to get back into it. I will see everybody next week. I got Glenn with GRS talking about his new SNK joystick. I'm excited to talk about that. It's super cool. I'm glad he came out with that because I know for a fact that is a huge loss in the arcade community, not having those available. Because just the arcades, I've had many arcades contact me just to do the toppers, 3D print them. So the joysticks themselves are very difficult to find as well. So I think Glenn hit it out of the park with that. So we'll be talking with him next week on that. And with that, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see everybody next week.